and be, kinder to each other. And instead of praising her for having the courage and the skill and the abilities to be able to perform at this once in a lifetime type of event, she's being body shamed because she had a small little muffin top that came over her pants. And, if this was some other kind of, thoroughfare or some other kind of media or something like that, this type of body shaming may even be kind of looked at as bullying. And it's just not okay. I'm going to be honest. I was looking at the Super Bowl. I saw what everyone was talking about. And I feel shameful to say I saw it and something crossed my mind real quick, but I feel happy to say that I completely then immediately, soon after I had the thought of, look at the fat, hanging off, I immediately replaced it with, but look at her. I wish I had that little bit of fat that she had compared to the fat that I do have. Look how she can sing. Look how else good she looks. A diamond studded outfit. And she's just, gorgeous up there in every other way, in every other light. And look how she's flying in. And she paid, she gave homage to our country in the beginning of the show. There's so many other things that we could have paid attention to. And so, I'm not always perfect. I may make mistakes, but on this one, I have to say, I saw it. I was watching it. I watched every part of it. I saw what they're talking about, but I definitely replaced it and went right into the positive things. And that's what we need to consciously start doing and be more aware of, when we're talking about, people, because again, this is not men that's talking about this. Men could really care less. If a man really likes you or he's digging you or feeling you, for the most part, he doesn't care about that small little muffin top that you have. And we need to stop saying that, these ugly, nasty things about ourselves and about each other. And this just leads back right into how we have the compassion challenge and being more compassionate to not just other people, but to ourselves. We've got to do the self-talk. We have to say that we're okay and we look fine and we're acceptable. And it's just like, you can be overweight and not like that you're overweight and know that you may have a few pounds to lose and still love yourself. And you should also have friends and family who surround you, who love you, who build you up and encourage you, as opposed to, someone who is talking about the extra weight that you have. Or, and if you're listening and you're tuned in and there is someone around you, a friend or a family member or a boyfriend or a girlfriend who's talking about you. And we're using Lady Gaga as an example because she's in the media this week, but men and women are body shamed. I do feel it may be more acceptable for men. It's probably more acceptable that a man is 300 and 400 pounds than it is for a woman to be 300 or 400 pounds. But they still get kind of teased equally. And it's not okay. And if someone is around you who makes you feel less than all right about who you are physically and mentally, then you need to spend less and less time with them, because we need to start being healthy persons and healthy beings. And if someone is around you making you feel less than that, then it's time to start limiting time with them and start trying to find more friends or more people who can be around you, who can help build you up and perpetuate the thoughts in your mind of healthiness and self-worth and positivity. So I just wanted to quickly read Lady Gaga's statement that she made. I'm not sure if she tweeted it, but I know she put a statement on Instagram, about how her body has been the topic of conversation this week since she did the Super Bowl halftime show. And this is her statement, quote unquote. I heard my body is a topic of conversation. So I wanted to say, I'm proud of my body, and you should be proud of yours too, no matter who you are or what you do. I could give you a million reasons why you don't need to cater to anyone or anything to succeed. Be you and be relentlessly you. That's the stuff of champions. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting me. I love you guys. XOXO Gaga. That quote unquote. So that's her exact statement. That's what she put in the media regarding what people were saying about her. And I couldn't agree with her more. And, you know, we're all going to have people talk about us. We're going to all have people make statements about us. But again, if it's someone who's in your close circle, it's spending less time with them. And if it's not, if you're a public figure or you got people at work talking about you or whatever the case may be, it's about brushing your shoulders off and not letting them get to you and knowing that what other people say about you is not your truth. What God says about you is your truth. What your higher power says about you is your truth. And you have to learn to speak up and speak for yourself and know your self-worth. So that's a major hot topic. And boy, what a big hot topic that is. And I cannot express more that I want women and men to feel good about themselves and start positive talk in their minds about themselves and to feel better and to be better. Okay, so what do we have next on Hot Topics? Okay, so we're talking about the British socialite Tara Palmer Tomkinson, who has now passed away at the age of 45. She was found in her London home, dead. And a lot of people may know her. I like the British and the English, and I kind of take a lot of look at it. And as you know, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later, I like to read everything. And ever since Diana days, I kind of stay in touch with what's kind of going on in London and kind of over there. So, she probably, a lot of people may not know her, but some people may, but it is a hot topic. They're talking about it in the media. And the reason that I wanted to put it in our Hot Topics conversation today is because it prompts many questions. Tara was known as the London party girl, and she was photographed and in videos, seen in videos quite often with the rich and the famous throughout the 1990s. And she's actually the goddaughter of Princess Charles. And, you know, still to this day, her parents are still great friends with Prince Charles and his wife. So last year, she came out and let everyone know that she had a brain tumor. And she said that, you know, she made a statement that she had calmed down a whole lot since, you know, it was revealed that she had the brain tumor. But they also have reports that she reportedly had a very expensive cocaine habit. And that led to the collapse of her nasal septum, which she had to have surgically repaired. And they talk about her heritage and her descendants, and they say she's a descendant from landowners and Olympic skiers, and that her grandfather, her uncle, and her father all competed at multiple Olympic Games. So these are the questions that arise from the death of Tara Palmer Tomkinson. Not only is her death, she's young. I mean, 45 years, you're very young. Considering, say you were to live a 90-year life, you know, she only got to live half of her life. And we know that, you know, 40s is pretty young. So with that kind of aside, with that obvious question aside, the other kind of questions that this brings about for me is, does fame and fortune correlate to drug abuse issues? Or, you know, does it just mean that you can get access to them better? You know what I'm saying? So it's something worthwhile. It's like, when you have fame and fortune, is that something that will prompt you more to use drugs? Or is it just that because they have the money to get it, we see so much of it more? Or do you feel like people who are, you know, maybe use cocaine just as much, we just don't see it because they're not, you know, in the limelight? So, you know, hit me up. Let me know what your thoughts are. Also, does the death of someone young and well known put life in perspective for you? when you see people die and they are in the prime of their lives, when they would ordinarily be going into the prime of their lives, or, headed to do so much in life, and they pass away, how does that put things into perspective for you? And what health issues have you faced in the past year that have calmed you down? So I am so happy to hear what you have to say. I love when you guys share with me your stories. I love when you hop in the chat room and share with me all your thoughts. I have someone in the chat room right now saying that it wasn't their health issue that kind of slowed them down, but they had a very close family member who had got a cancer diagnosis in the past year, which kind of slowed them down and put life in perspective. So these are the things. So stories like this, even if you don't know the person, you hear about it, you look at their age, and you get to evaluate your life, and it really gets to put things in perspective. So hit me up. If you're not in the chat room, you're listening to the playback, hit me up. We're live right now, but if you're on the playback, hit me up at kindofcompassion@gmail.com and let me know what kind of health events have happened to you in the past year that have calmed you down. Yep. So this is Life Enhancement Radio Station at lifeenhancementradio.com. We are live and on fire tonight. We are talking about hot topics and some of the things that are hype and going on in the media today. This next hot topic, as I was kind of transitioning my day today, I saw this, and this was not originally in the Hot Topics list for today, but as I was transitioning and doing point A to point B and kind of saw this, it was really intriguing to me, and it was just something that I was like, okay, I got to kind of talk about this today, and may even start to explore a little more, because it was so interesting. I think most people can relate to it. And it was just something that I thought was really crazy. It was one of the guests that Steve Harvey had on his talk show, I believe, today. And the guest's name was Daryl Davis. Or is Daryl Davis. And Daryl Davis is the author of Clandestine Relationships. And he has made efforts to eliminate racism. And basically his story is that he grew up overseas and he never even knew what racism was. And then his family, I guess they were like a military family or something. His family, they moved to the United States. And then when he got here in the 4th grade, he was 10 and he experienced racism. I think something like he was attacked or somebody wanted to fight him or threw some rocks at him or something. I missed the whole segment, but, and I didn't get to see the show, but, he faced racism for the first time and he did not understand what it was about. And, he was talking about how his mother, when, he told his mom what had happened, his mother had told him that the reason that they were doing this to him is because of the color of his skin. And he said he just couldn't believe it. And, because he was targeted like that at his age, he became obsessed with the topic of racism. And he started reading everything he could about racism. And that's, something that I like to talk to you about a lot too, is reading everything you can on different topics, and it helps you to become well versed. But he started reading everything he could on racism, and now he has a book on the topic. And at the age of 15, he started sitting down with Klan members, and he's been doing it ever since. And I guess over the course of time, he has convinced over 200 Klan members to leave the organization. So, that is just definitely something that's an ordeal. And we definitely want to give him a round of applause. Because when you can take people from a place of hate and move them into a place of love, that is something big, and it is worthy of applause. I'm telling you about